Our question for you today is, are you proud to be an American?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Wow.
I wouldn't say exactly proud, I would say thankful.
Throw it back with a question.
Absolutely.
Yes, I am proud to be an American.
Honestly, no.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes. I would have to say yes.
That is hard to answer, but at the moment, I'd have to say no.
Yes.
I am.
Yes, I am.
Why do you say no?
I don't believe our government is doing what our forefathers wanted.
Well, because I was raised in a country where I've had freedoms.
I think like last weekend with the No Kings protest, I think there's some really great like American people. If you identify with American in that sense, there's people who are standing up for like some of the core values of democracy and freedom and respect for people's rights. But then I think the people in the institutions and in the government aren't necessarily doing that. So I'd say I'm proud of some of the American people who are standing up for themselves, and I'm proud to be an American in the sense of like values in that regard, but I'm less proud of the institution that's representing the nation right now.
Enjoy everything about this country. I mean, we have freedoms that some other places don't have freedoms, and the freedom of voice, just the freedom of acts, as long as they're legal acts, and I enjoy that ability.
I believe that our country was built on the belief of a freedom for all and, the right to the pursuit of happiness, government of the people, by the people, for the people. I think we have a bit of work to do on some of those. I certainly think government of the people, by the people, and for the people could use some work right now. But we've seen a lot of people trying to change that and make some good progress in that area.
Yeah, I would say a complete rehaul of capitalism and our structure of our two-party system and what we think democracy is in the United States, and whether our ideas of that are actually truly representative of everyone getting an equal voice in the decision-making process.
Proud of, I don't know, 50, 60% of what's America now. But there's so much that is just so distressing. And what I'm most concerned about are people who just knee-jerk say, I'm proud to be an American. And, at that point kind of discount so much of the work that we need to do.
I am proud of the culture that America has, but I think as like the American presence on the world stage is a massively negative thing.
What do you think the institution could do better to better the American people as a whole?
I think there's a lot of things the institution could do better, but I think the question would be, would they be willing to make those improvements? I think one big thing is just diplomacy, honestly, because I think the way that Trump is interacting on the world stage is not setting a good example for the American people, or for just not setting a good example of what America is or what America represents. I think of the Zelensky interview where he's just berating people. He kind of lacks like decorum and couth, and I think that can really harm the nation's, how people perceive the nation, and then that can go in toward harming our intelligence connections and our military connections too, when you think on that on like a larger scale.
I think the United States is a country with a lot of opportunities that are not in every country.
So I'm going to say that I'm not political at all. I don't care what anybody's political affiliation is. I'm just proud to be here, proud to be alive. My family's here. We are all healthy. I just feel like it's unnecessary things that's happening right now that don't need to happen. And, I'm just proud because in certain events, we can all come together, regardless of where we are or what we are, what political affiliation we are. So that's why I'm proud.
I have gratitude for all those freedoms and for all the people who helped secure our freedoms. And so I hold that in my heart, even when sometimes I'm disillusioned about current state and politics. I still love my country.
The most freedom in our country across the world, and it is a beautiful country.
The culture that America has is very, I like mixing pot. It's very homogenous and nice.
It's still the melting pot at the end of the day. You can find so many people and so many good opportunities. That's why my parents even came here in the first place.
I was lucky to be born here, very fortunate, and it's been a wonderful country for me.
I'm terrified. I am trans. I am disabled with multiple conditions, and I feel like some days my life is in danger.
We really have a good thing to have here. in America more than the other countries. We have more opportunities and stuff, and um, it's just unfortunate that the other countries are going through what's going on right now.
Because we live in a democracy where folks have the particular freedoms that aren't granted in other authoritative spaces, authoritarian spaces.
Let people be individuals. Let um, immigrants come to the United States because that's what we were founded on.
I'm proud to, um, you know, be a part of communities where people believe that everyone deserves equal rights and an equal presence and ability to feel safe and comfortable and happy in their identity. And from what I know about, from what I studied in college about America, those two ideas are kind of at odds with the structure of America's political system. Um, and like our literal the word of our constitution, like didn't consider all people as equal people.
What work do you think America needs to do?
Well, number one, we need to deal with equality. We need to deal with diversity. We need to deal with equity. We need to deal with inclusion. But I think we need to really have a guaranteed annual income. We need to have universal health care. I think, and this is unusual for somebody who's progressive, I think we need to have choice in schools, an ongoing commitment to the environment, clean energy. I mean, that's the usual stuff. I would also say that in education, most importantly, we need to get the nicest, most pleasant adults in our society, and there are a few, and get them in the classroom, okay, rather than people who have, grudges, chips on their shoulders.
I think we need to tax rich people more. I think we need to have more progressive policies toward minorities. I think we need to make it easier to become a citizen. And I think we need to be more accepting.
I think there's not a lot of government stability. I think that before the United States, at least in the perspective of other countries, was seen as a country focused on democracy, whereas other countries either have illusions of democracy or outright authoritarianism. I think under the current leadership, it's not even an illusion, it's just a lot of authoritarianism. I think that a lot of people are worried. I think there's a lot of extremism. And I think if it can go back to being a country that, is divided in the sense that we can disagree instead of all under one, extreme view, I think it would be better.